Hey, what's up? It's Hati, and I'm back with another review. This time, Supercard of Honor was on last night. I watched the show. And then I watched the interviews after, and I went to bed like a baby. I felt so content with everything that happened last night. Even though everything didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, it was still a really great show. We did start off with a pre-show that they announced like yesterday morning. I don't like when they do last minute shit. Honestly, I thought the pre-show would start at 6 and then the main card would start at 7. And actually, that was not the case. The pre-show started at 7, main card started at 8. Either way, they had a really great show. The pre-show's on YouTube, so you can watch that. Best matches on there was Takeshita versus Willie Mack. They're very different, but they had a really great chemistry in the ring. And also, Stu Grayson versus Slim J was really, really great. Since Stu has come back to AEW, he has really showed how much improvement he has made. Really proud of him. Really enjoyed those matches. Let's get on to the main card. So we started off the night with El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander. I forgot to say this, but we got Nigel McGuinness. He is on commentary tonight, so that was a really great move for ROH to make. However, a bad move they made was having this match be first. Now, I felt like the crowd was so behind the intensity and everything that these two were giving in this match that after that match, the crowd was dead from there. Yeah, we heard some things from them a little bit later on, but it just didn't compare to how they were during that first match. One thing I absolutely cannot stand is a quiet audience, and I don't think that's great when it comes to a pay-per-view. So definitely when it comes to pay-per-views, the order of matches matter, and I think they went the wrong route with having this first. However, I enjoyed this match. I wouldn't say it's the match of the night because I think I enjoyed the Pure Rules match to be slightly better, but these two absolutely exceeded expectations, at least for me and maybe for other people as well. We started off the match with these two using the same moves, and I kind of like how they started off with that, and then they branched away and did their own thing. Even though they're similar, they're still very different, and I really enjoyed their performance. I know the only complaint maybe people might have is Vikingo doing a 630 senton onto a table. Pretty much the same thing that he did with Kenny the other day. And even though he really connected to Commander with that move, the table was like, not today. And it didn't even flinch. So definitely going to see that on Botchamania. Either way, like I said, the title was not going to change hands on another promotions pay-per-view. However, watching these two makes you want to go watch AAA. They are really, really great competitors. Really great way to start off the show, but not a great way as far as the order of the matches should have been. Next, we had the Embassy versus Blake Christian, Metalik, and AR Fox. This was not bad. This is probably the best match I've seen them do. However, it got messy, and I think the lack of experience of both these teams really having enough experience with each other showed here. Embassy has held these titles since December and probably only had 2, maybe 3 matches that entire time. So their inexperience as a trios, I felt like showed in this match. And the same thing with the other team as well. They just put these guys together like not even a month ago. They work well together, but you can tell that they just have not been together for a long time. This was still a great match, even though I felt like, hey, let's regroup and get things together at times. Blake Christian showed up and showed out, and he was absolutely amazing throughout this match. And I think either before this match or maybe after, he had a match in GCW as well. So, no fatigue there. He did a tremendous job. So he was like the MVP here, probably throughout the night. I think we saw a lot of impressiveness from him. Does he need to be in a trio? I don't mind that right now in his career, but he can really branch out and do his own thing. The Embassy ended up taking the win here, though. So everybody who's been crying about Brian leaving AEW ROH to go to WWE, you're wrong. Next, we had Athena versus Yuka Sakazaki for the ROH Women's title. Both these girls did a tremendous job. Yuka really surprised me. She's so small but so strong. She has so much agility. Actually, Yuka had a match earlier in the day where she and her partner won some tag titles. So she came into ROH with no fatigue at all, and she did such a great job. A lot of people has been doing more than one match these past few days, or even more than one match a day. So I really give a lot of props to her for being able to do that and still being professional and doing her best throughout this match. I knew Athena was going to end up taking the win here. Athena has improved so much, and she has consistently had very good matches. However, for me, I do think her match with Emmy was the best one that she's had since she's been the ROH champion. But this was a very close second to that. Yuka did, her best, but fell short. The right person won. Up next, Mark Briscoe and Samoa Joe go at it for the ROH TV title. I know a lot of people are mad. People are so mad that Mark did not win tonight. Honestly, I think that was the right call. People just saying the same thing because of Jay, he should win. I don't think that's a good reason. I really do feel like this past month, Mark has shown some I don't know. He's coming in great as a single competitor, but I feel like he didn't do much to truly show why he should be holding gold. I do think it's a process. You shouldn't just be handed gold for any other reason other than the work that you put in as a singles competitor. Yes, we know him as a tag team champion, 13-time tag team champion ROH. However, as a single competitor, that's a different journey. That's a different thing. I think he's starting off really well, but he needs some time. I think the right call was made today. Samoa Joe, like this match here had a lot of emotions. Yes, because people wanted to see Mark win. We do have Mark's family ringside. However, that added to the emotions as well, because you're like, damn, these kids are right there. They're gonna want to see his dad become champion. One only complaint I had with this match was Mark doing a neck breaker onto Samoa Joe onto a table that was outside of the ring, and it looked like that probably didn't hurt Samoa Joe, and it really looked like it hurt Mark. So that's the only hiccup in that match. But either way, these two really did a great job. And if anything, this really kicks off Mark Briscoe as a singles competitor. This was a really great match for him. But I do think that the right call was made. Samoa Joe ends up retaining the title. Next, we had Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia. This was super, super good. Now, I didn't give a prediction on this. They announced this pretty late. So this was like after I probably did my prediction video. I don't like that they're doing that. Please, like, if y'all can just have a full card out a week before, that would be really, really great, instead of putting a lot of last second things. Don't make like a habit of it, because I think that they are. But anyway, this was a really great match. Daniel Garcia being so young and having a lot of great opportunities, working with a lot of great wrestlers, especially veterans as of late, and he's showing himself to be the future of AEW, the future of just pro wrestling, period. And I really appreciate that. We had Tanahashi, who is a veteran, who's like, 45 years old or so, and he's able to move around so amazing in the ring. Now, throughout this match, we do have Daniel, who is working on Tanahashi's knee, and that made me a little worried for Tanahashi. However, he ends up overcoming all the odds and taking the win for this. So I was kind of surprised to see him winning. Even though Daniel did not win, he is fucking winning in the wrestling world right now. I really enjoyed this match. It really surprised me how well Daniel is able to be so versatile and just work with anybody as of late. I really enjoyed this. Please, if you haven't seen this match, I think you will enjoy it. All right, y'all, the Breach for the Sky ladder match. Now, oh my god, where do I begin? First of all, we had LFI, Aussie Open, The Kingdom, Lucha Brothers, and Top Flight. They did a tremendous job here. However, my complaint here is that just because you're part of a ladder match and you want to do cool things with these ladders, sometimes some of these things it's just too much. You don't have to kill yourself to show the coolest moves or whatever. And I really felt like with this match, Top Flight were like the rag dolls of this match. Like they were really using a lot of the nastier looking spots. And I just feel like you can do really cool things without looking like y'all killing yourselves. Like the crowd is still going to be behind you without some of these really extra stuff that is uncalled for. Now, Darius was the brother, I think, that really took most of the torture. So there was a lot of prayers out for him throughout that match. But then shit got worse, okay? We had Dante and Penta both climbing on the ladder to get the titles from above. Then they took it to another ladder that was that ladder was on the ladder that they were climbing on and on the ropes, and Ray Fenix is under that ladder holding it up, making sure these two on that ladder don't end up falling or whatever. So then we have outside the ring, we have 4 tables lined up side by side. And Penta is going to do a Canadian Destroyer onto those tables. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really, really cool. Then he hits it. And I was like, wow, that's great. Great moment, And then you saw Dante's leg. His leg was like this, but his foot was all the way over there. Oh my God. You could tell it was broken. It looked so bad. I couldn't stomach looking at it. However, when the camera got onto it, and whoever it was that saw it must have told the camera crew, move that fucking camera because it looked really, really bad. And from there, we did not see Dante for the rest of the match, obviously. I don't even remember seeing Darius from there. That was absolutely really tough to look at. I was really surprised that the Lucha Brother took this win. I personally wanted Aussie Open to win, but I thought that they would go with either LFI or the Kingdom, a heel team to win the titles. I was so surprised they didn't go that way. Lucha Brothers, they're now the ROH tag title holders, and after that match we do have them celebrating with not just Mike Briscoe but with FTR as well. So congrats to them. I really thought that Mark was going to leave the tag titles in the ring, especially since he came out with both of the ROH titles. And I thought he was going to go in the ring and leave them out there. And that was not the case. He just came with them and he was celebrating, holding those titles with the other guys. I was ready to get my tissues out for that, but that didn't end up happening. This was a really great moment, and I really hope that Dante feels better really soon. That was a nasty, nasty break. Next, we had the Pure Championship on the line with Wheeler Yuta and Shibata. I'm really surprised about this. I absolutely expected Wheeler Yuta to take the win. They really surprised me with this one. However, this was probably my favorite match of the night. When I tell you Shibata used a lot of psychology in this match, and you can tell really early on that Wheeler Yuta knew that he was in for the fight of his career. I really feel like you can feel the difference between Shibata and everyone else that Wheeler Yuta has been in the ring with. And this was his toughest opponent to date. And they really did a great job. This match only lasted maybe a little bit over 13 minutes. I kind of was expecting for it to last a little bit longer than that. But I do feel like as far as pure wrestling go, you really got all the elements throughout this match. It was really enjoyable, but the outcome really, really surprised me. I was not expecting that. Now, we do have the crowd that is, booing Wheeler Yuta. Fuck you, Chance to Wheeler, and Moxley, who came out with him as well. So they're really over as heels, but I just didn't expect this. This is probably my favorite match of the night. I truly, truly enjoyed this. You know me, I love technical wrestling more than any other type of style. I'm very interested to see where they go forward with Shibata with holding these titles. I hope we get to see him really often. I know this is like a new step into his career. So even though I'm kind of, bummed out that Wheeler lost the title, I still feel like the right call was made. It's pretty shocking, but I'm interested to see what happens from here. Main event time for the ROH Championship. Oh my God. Claudio versus Eddie Kingston. Right off the bat, Eddie, he comes in the ring and within seconds, he's already getting a chair in there. And obviously, you can't do that. This is not a no DQ match or whatever. So the ref was like, hey, bro, get the chair out of here before you get disqualified. I love the fact that Eddie is like a hothead. He reminds me of Brooklyn. The same thing I hated about Brooklyn is the same thing I like about him. He's just like really, I don't know. It's like he's relatable in a way. However, everything that Claudio does is so flawless. Everything that he does just makes sense. Even when he talks about how Eddie is a hothead and how that's not a good look for a champion, it's like you believe him too, but then you also like Eddie, and the crowd really showed that. They were so divided between these two, cheering for both of them, and it's like you just really couldn't tell who the crowd was going after. Now, this is one of those matches that you actually heard the crowd. I'm so disappointed about the lack of crowd participation in professional wrestling these days. It just doesn't make sense. But either way, this was a really great match. And I do think that despite Claudio being really arrogant right now, I do feel like, had this been off camera, he can really admit that Eddie Kingston really brought him a great fight. However, it fell short. Now, I knew there was just no way. Even though Wheeler Yuta lost the title, there was no way Claudio was going to win this. And it's not because it's Eddie Kingston. It's because I just feel like with everything that's going on right now, this is just not the title to be changing hands, for sure. No matter who it was, he was going to be in the ring with. Even though Eddie lost, at the end of everything, it still seemed like Eddie was like, yeah, I lost, but I'm still coming after you type of thing. And then we have Claudio, who was doing interviews after the show, was really making it seem like he's done with Eddie. So is that the case? I'm not sure. However, after this match, we do have Claudio and Wheeler Yuta sizing up Eddie, and they're about to attack him. And then Shibata comes out, and, he goes out to, even the game with Eddie Kingston. And for a second there, I was like, they probably going to throw some blows for a minute, but that doesn't end up happening. Wheeler and Claudio end up getting out the ring, and they make it to the back. And so I'm not really sure if that storyline is over between the two. I could imagine that Claudio wants to move on to other opponents. But when I think about it, I'm like, well, who else could be going for that title right now? So I'm not sure who would be next in line. It does seem a little more than likely right now that they might still continue that feud. But this is long-term storytelling with these guys. And this was a great way to end off the pay-per-view. You guys, this pay-per-view, I really, really enjoyed top to bottom. ROH has been absolutely consistent since they started the TV show, for sure. Last year they had 3 really great pay-per-views with almost no build-up for all 3 of them. So now we had this show where we had at least a month worth of TV shows leading to the pay-per-view, and they've done a fantastic job since they started. The pay-per-view was absolutely amazing top to bottom. I would give this like an 8.5 out of 10. Very enjoyable. Like I said, if you want to buy the Honor Club, go ahead. But I really feel like it is definitely worth it. So I'm going to continue my subscription with them. But I do hope that they add more things onto that subscription to make people really feel like they should buy this. But as far as entertainment with ROH itself, they have done a tremendous job, and I'm so happy with what they've been able to accomplish with this pay-per-view. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back with my review for Rampage that I did not watch as of yet. Bye.